Alright, does someone want to explain to me how an entire Gungaroo just vanishes? I don't think that's possible. Anyway, it's Vanishing Gungaroo stage. But he's right there, though. Alright, so this stage is not as gimmicky as the previous one was, but it is still a vehicle-based stage. The vehicle's very involved in this one. So yes, this is the one with the ride armor in it. So ride armor is always kind of a nice diversion. It kinda hit its peak in X3, where they gave it, like, alternate forms that you could use. But, you know, it still appeared in 4 and was okay. This time around, though, the ride armor gets its own stage. You have just a regular machine gun fire, or if you use the special weapon button, you shoot missiles, which you're going to need to destroy certain enemies. Basically, if anything displays a shield, shoot it with missiles, and you're good. You do have unlimited missiles, it's not limited by a meter or anything. You just have to remember that it does kind of keep you in place. You have to stop for a moment to use them, and they are potentially pretty slow. So if enemies are shooting at you, it's actually better to just shoot right back with a basic shot. Also remember that you have target change with R2. I mention this specifically because bits and pieces of this level can get kind of annoying if auto-target decides, hey, I'd like to go for this guy you're nowhere near. You do kind of have to change that yourself. It's not really smart enough to know what you might want. Like, I thought I wanted the guy around the corner. I very much do not. I cannot hit that man. Alright, so I guess I should, while we're here, talk about the changes in this hack once the door actually lets me through. Thank you. So, Ends Edition changes up a whole lot of things. First and foremost, there's a certain thing that happens either after you rescue 64 Reploids, or you beat all of the main stages. However, that has actually been lowered to 32 rescuable Reploids, so theoretically I could have actually done that in this stage. Note I said I could have done it, I may have missed a few. Might have to go back for cleanup. Unlike the X6 hack, this one doesn't actually, like, reduce the number of Reploids you have to find, so unlike in the last game, we do have some fluff to deal with. But it's fine. It means we have to engage more in the 3D space. Everybody's excited for that, right? That being said, though, yeah, that's very important. It is very helpful that that got lowered. We'll see why later. As for other things, my least favorite thing in this hack is that they changed the boss order. It's not the biggest deal, and if you find just, you know, any of the changes, FAQ or whatever, like, it'll just list who's weak to what. You know, the order, the literal order bosses are in. But I don't know, I feel like that was kinda unnecessary, but then again, I don't know this game super well, so I don't know, maybe there's some nuance to the way weapons work, that either made the original order too easy, or maybe it'll make this one a little easier, I don't know. It's not like I'm going to see until the end of the game, though, because as always, we're going in without special weapons until the very end. That being said, other things, let's see, so, knockback in the original version was pretty bad. If you got knocked over, it kinda took you a hot second to get back. That's been sped up. You can now speed up cutscenes as well. So you can make those go by faster if you want to, though, for the ones with voice acting, that can throw things off a little bit, so I'm not really going to be showing that. Obviously, damage has been tweaked a lot, which is especially important for the US version of the game, because for some reason, localization of this one included, I believe it's giving bosses more health, not making things do less damage. So your weapons did the same damage as they would in the Japanese or European versions, it's just everything had more health, so it took longer to kill, which, you know, that's a whole lot of fun. That's not tedious or anything. Oh, another important thing. This game does not let you, like... Reploids can still perma-die, unlike the X6 hack. This one made a different decision. However, Reploids aren't quite in as much danger, and you don't have to throw yourself under a bus to save anybody quite as badly, because they actually take 3 hits before dying. And you know, I actually kind of prefer that to just... even if they die, they come back if you restart the stage. Like, I said it in X6, but theoretically I like the whole rescuable Reploids thing.
Ready?
In theory, I like the idea that— oh, hello. I like the idea that there are people in the world that you have to save. I feel like it made more sense in X6, because that was sort of the post-apocalypse game where we were trying to rebuild. Society has been mostly rebuilt by this point, as we saw in the intro, but I guess it's not unfair to assume that people might still be in danger. So I'm not entirely against it. But in actual execution, I really think the rescuable Reploids tend to really throw off the rhythm of a stage. So, I don't much care for them. Oh, I see that guy. I see that man. Sad. In practice, I'm not the biggest fan of them. Also, having potential upgrades permanently killed while not knowing who actually gives you the permanent upgrades is, I don't know, kind of a bad idea. I don't like that it's a mystery until it's too late to realize your mistakes. I feel like you should be presented with who has what items in some capacity, maybe make the ones with upgrades, certain model types, so you can kind of tell at a glance who's who. I don't know. Let's see, anything? Oh, apparently the wall dash is super buggy in the original version. I have not had trouble with it here, but apparently it does still have some issues. I know in the previous stage, they actually changed around the position of the W tank, because it's supposed to be behind an item, or behind like a barrier or something, but it was kind of just in the middle of things, as it was. I don't know how many other things they've changed thus far, but everything in the stage appears where it's supposed to, as far as I know. Both the items are supposed to appear in this room. Alright, I think that's more or less it for things I wanted to mention. I don't remember if there are any other particular changes that aren't, like, specific to boss timings or character timings or whatever. Anyway, that's the main stage. But what about the boss, who I specifically switched to Axel for? So Axel takes a more familiar tone with the bosses, of course, because he knows them.
How do you figure, Axel?
And they do the same for him.
Who'd have thought I'd turn out stronger than you?
You haven't proven that yet.
I'm not the kid you used to know.
Even though I sound almost exactly the same as you.
Don't call me a kid. I ain't that no more. If you keep misbehaving, you won't get your snaps.
Fucking got him. Zero also taunts him, it's great. Few people give this man respect. Anyway, Vanishing Gungaru himself has a robot form. It's very easy, provided you jump back into your armor. So yeah, you definitely want to have your armor around, because you can kind of just decimate him. So, in terms of robot, yeah, ours is better. That being said, he has a second form, where he just takes to the ground. This is probably where you're going to explode, because he's very agile, light on his feet, jumps around a whole lot, as you might guess from the fact that he's a kangaroo. And yeah, because of this, he's gonna float around in your hitbox for a while, so yeah. Yeah, I'm not gonna say it's impossible to kill him with a mech, but it's pretty unlikely. But that being said, yeah, letting the mech absorb a whole bunch of hits, that's just how you're gonna want to do this fight. And then he's gonna shout triangle a whole lot, and then we're just going to shoot him. Do a bit of stabbing, though that being said, he is of course a close range fighter, so this is mainly for damage, but as you can see, he can actually dish out a lot of damage himself, so Axel is by far the better choice. Shoryuken didn't help you. I don't know why that was so silly to me. But anyway, as for the stage itself, I was talking about the changes in this, or some of them anyway. But I actually kind of enjoyed the stage. It being a ride-up... Explosion! We gave Axel a gun! Anyway, though, yeah, I enjoyed it. A lot of it is based on trying to safely get through the whole thing with your ride armor. And there is plenty of healing, as long as you save people, so I don't think it's a huge deal. Also, we ranked up, nice. But yeah, the ride armor in this game is simple, but pretty fun. It honestly feels pretty strong. There are a bunch of enemies that shield from your basic attack, but that's when you just blow them up with missiles. It's a little finicky, or not finicky exactly, but like, I don't know. It has a mechanic. It has pretty distinct gimmicks to it, or pretty clear indications of what you're supposed to do, when you're supposed to fire, when you're supposed to missile, so... I'm gonna say that one wasn't too bad. Though, I should mention the camera's not great. Obviously you can rotate it in certain sections, but it's still not ideal.
Like I said, my friends in Red Alert are all really skilled Reploids.
Except for that kid, he was a huge dork.
Except I heard they were mostly criminals.
That doesn't mean they can't be skilled.
They don't do anything bad. Well, at least most of the time.
What's your point?
I'm serious. They really didn't do bad until suddenly everyone changed.
Suddenly, Gungaroo just vanished.
When the Maverick Hunters, even the Reploids, stopped following Red's orders.
What? I don't understand that line. I feel like that one was very badly translated, and I guess we're just leaving it there. Okay, sure, whatever. Anyway, we made Gungaroo vanish permanently. That's it, that's the episode. We're done.